What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're talking affordable fragrances, but we're also talking about a topic that is super important to a lot of you watching this and that watch this channel on a regular basis. We're talking performance, and this is some affordable fragrances with some real performance. We're talking about staying power. We're talking about loud and pronounced, because I know it's important to a lot of you. A lot of you like to chase the compliments. While not the most important thing to me, I'm not going to sit here and act like it doesn't, make my day, or at least make for a great conversation when somebody wants to pay me a nice compliment. So in this video, I've got 8 specific fragrances that I want to talk to you about, so stay tuned. Starting with one that is a 'tis the season kind of thing. We're starting to move into autumn. This is great for the autumn and winter seasons. This is Joop Homme Parfum. So this is now pretty easy to find at this point. I'll have links to everything down in the description. So I'm not a fan of the original Joop Homme. I just kind of have it. This I love. This is an easy love because it's a violet-based take on the fragrance. It's rich. It's still sweet, but it's 2 different types of sweet and 2 different types of floral. What do I mean by that? So when you get in the opening, it's more of an earthy violet type of smell, the way the iris comes across. Not super powdery, a little powdery, but more earthy, with a nice kind of candied, almost praline. I think praline is actually the note. Sweetness to it. Then as it transitions, it becomes more of a soft, powdery iris smell with a more creamy vanilla type of sweetness to it. And it's a monster performer. You can get this one under 50 bucks, right in that 40 some odd dollar range. It is a beast. Iris lovers, this is a must try. It's not as crazy synthetic as Joop Homme is. That's another thing that I really enjoy about this. It's smoother overall, as you would expect from something with Parfum in the name of the flanker. This is beautiful stuff, one that I encourage you to check out. Again, that's Joop Homme Parfum. This next one's a straight up hype beast among designers. It's gotten plenty of love over the last year, as it should. If you're interested in a leather aquatic, interesting sounding, right? Kenzo Homme Parfum might be that fragrance you're looking for. This is a 3-sprayer for me. This is loud, this is attractive, this is versatile, but this is slightly unique as well. This is a robust, rich, slightly dark leather accord. Saltwater marine tone, a little bit of citrus, a touch of green to tie to the original. This is masterfully done. Not the most natural smell. I mean, of course, it smells a little on the synthetic side, but nothing crazy synthetic. Like, it doesn't smell super cheap, if you will. And this stuff's a bona fide beast. This is 10 to 12 hours on skin easily. Loud. I mean loud for a solid 2, slightly over 2 hours range before it even thinks about calming down on the skin to a pretty hefty sillage overall. This has gotten a lot of love for a lot of reasons, and most notably, it's because of the performance with the really good smell and the uniqueness. That's the main things to enjoy and appreciate about this fragrance. Definitely worth checking out if you like the freshies, but you want a deep freshie with some real character to the scent. You're going to want to check out Kenzo Homme Parfum. This next one deserves a spot on just about any list as long as it's affordable, because even if you may not think it's a beast, you're just having some olfactive fatigue, your nose is wearing out. That's a real thing when it comes to Versace Dylan Blue. Versace Dylan Blue is a real performer. This stuff is loud, it's attractive, it draws people in. It's known, a notorious compliment magnet. That's been my experience with it. You get citrus, you get a nice rich smokiness, ambery, woodsy, aquatic, a little hit of a shower gel feel to it. It's peppery. There's a lot of nuance to this one. Admittedly, I was not a fan the first couple of times I smelled it, but over time, sometimes they just got to grow on you. I ended up falling head over heels in love with this. I think this is one of the best mass-appealing, do-it-all fragrances money can buy. It performs great. It works well for every season and every situation. It's never a bad time to smell like Dylan Blue. Let's call it what it is. This is a great fragrance, again, with real performance. You can find bottles, 100 ml, in the $45 to $55 range, sometimes a little cheaper. If you're willing to get a 50 ml, obviously much cheaper than that, in the $30 to $40 range. And you don't need a lot of sprays. This is a 5-spray fragrance for me. It's quite stout. The sillage on it will captivate. It will linger. Even if your nose wears out and you can't smell it that easily after a little while, others around you can. This is a straight up beast. And it's Versace Dylan Blue. Now, as far as sweet fragrances, where this is actually a clone of a very popular Beastly sweet fragrance that I would recommend over the original, which is rare. It's not often I'll recommend getting the clone over the original, but with Afnan 9 p.m., it's easy to do so. So instead of that fresh, fruity pear smell, you have a more sweet and fruity apple note. That's the most noticeable difference, but it's smoother. It's not as scratchy, screechy, and as synthetic smelling as Ultramale. Ultramale is still a phenomenal fragrance, don't get me wrong, I love it, but the sweet, spicy accords that you get from that, aside from apple versus pear, it's almost identical. This smells extremely similar to it with what seems to be a higher quality oil. The oils smell a little bit nicer here. Like I said, it doesn't smell as cheap as it actually is, because you can get this one in like $25 to $35 range, and it's a monster. This is a 3-spray fragrance for me. This stuff will fill a room if you start dialing up the sprays. Beyond that, sillage lingers. It captivates if you're a fan of sweet fragrances, the modern style, or your girl likes a good sweet fragrance on you. You can save some money and still rake in those compliments that I know a lot of you seek. Again, there's no guarantees that any fragrance we're talking about here today will get you a compliment. But when it comes to a great aroma with serious performance, which again, everybody's skin's different, you never know. But for me, this is a nuclear fragrance, and it's one worth checking out. And it's Afnan 9 p.m. Not every fragrance recommendation can just be some fun-loving blue fragrance, shower gel, sweet fragrance. Sometimes you need something a bit more interesting. Let's talk about oud. Fruity, rosy, a little smoked patchouli type of smell. This is from Paris Corner. This is called Lueur d'Espoir Ambre. This is a clone of Louis Vuitton's Ambre Nomade. This is ridiculously strong on my skin. The quality here still surprises me every single time I smell this. I continue to be amazed. Even in their press briefing on Paris Corner's website, on Aroma Concepts website, they talk about how they used better raw materials for this. Then the oil quality here does smell pretty much up there. I'm not going to say the highest of quality money can buy, but it doesn't smell like a $30 to $40 fragrance. I'll tell you that much. Nuclear performance, God. Intoxicating, addicting, highly wearable oud fragrance. It's not the most funky, fecal, crazy, challenging niche oud out there. There is somewhat of an enjoyment for those that don't want the most challenging of ouds, but again, it's an oud smell. Oud rose, though more on the fruitiness. I believe there's a raspberry note as the fruitiness here that provides a little bit of this warm, sweet vibrance to go with this smoky oud smell. I even get a little bit of patchouli here, which I don't necessarily remember patchouli being in the note breakdown, but this is beautiful stuff. Definitely one of the better releases, I think, that's more interesting anyways, from Paris Corner, that's definitely worth checking out. And again, this one, some real performance. Again, that's Lueur d'Espoir Ambre from Paris Corner. This next one, I don't know if I can have this topic without talking about this fragrance, because when it comes to this topic, this is a pretty regular recommendation for me. In the mid-30s to low 40s, you can get 125 ml of Cool Water Intense, and this stuff will scream off the skin. I know I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people who get phenomenal, crazy beast performance out of this. I've gone as far as wearing just 2 sprays and being, just bathed in a strong sillage, basically, with 2 sprays. Now, typically I would do 3 to 4, which is a lot. But you can get away with 2 sprays, and people are going to smell you. It's strong. Amber coconut, bubblegum type of thing going on. Not the sunscreen type of coconut, more of a sweet cream coconut. Super strong. It smells nothing like Cool Water. If you think going into this is an intensified smell of Cool Water, like the name would make you believe it is not. This is a bubblegum, youthful, playful type of scent that is a bomb. It smells of Ambroxan, even though they don't have it. It's a shower gel scent in many ways, but not typical shower gel, because there's more, like I said, sweet, ambery, and coconut type of smell. But this is good stuff, guys. As long as you're not looking for a serious fragrance, you want something on the more casual side, but that definitely grabs attention and makes a statement. For the money, it's pretty damn hard to beat. You get a lot of it. You get 125 milliliters. And like I said, honestly, I would go with 3 sprays. That's way more than enough. At least on my skin, it's an absolute monster. And that's Davidoff Cool Water Intense. Anybody that doesn't get great performance out of this, you're going nose blind. I have to say this every time I talk about this fragrance, and there's still going to be people arguing with me in the comments. It's unbelievable. your nose is wearing out, my man. I'm telling you that's the case with Rasasi Hawas, because this is an absolute monster. 4 sprays, and it fills a room with 4 sprays. I could wear less and still make plenty of a statement with this. Sweet bubblegum, aquatic, spices, and woods. That's the main things you'll get. There's florals. There's all kinds of stuff in here, but that's the main thing. Sweet bubblegum, aquatic, with spices and woods. And it makes a statement. It definitely smells on the synthetic side. It does not smell like some expensive high-end luxury fragrance. And it's pretty linear. It doesn't change a whole lot from start to finish. Pretty much what you get from the start is kind of what it's going to smell like through the end. You might get more woods and spices as it dries versus the sweet aquatic, but neither ever really go away. The balance just kind of shifts in regards to which accords you're going to get stronger than the others. You get more of these at the beginning, and then it's going to switch. You see what I'm saying? So, pretty straightforward scent, super hype beast in the online fragrance community, regardless of platform, just the online fragrance community as a whole, for good reason. This is good stuff. The probability of getting a compliment from some passerby is heightened, though again, nothing's guaranteed with any fragrances. But if you want ridiculous, real beastly performance at an affordable price point, there might not be any better than Rasasi Hawas. And finally, we have a boozy indie niche house that absolutely worth checking out, but you have to like a grape whiskey smell. So there's fruity notes, there's brandy, and a lot of it with some woods when we're talking about Happyland Studio El Goodo, because El Goodo is very goodo. This is wonderful, wonderful stuff. I just wore it last week. I get grape whiskey every time. Like I said, it's listed as fruity notes, but I get apple and I get grapes. And it's not just because I see a purple label. I used to think my mind was playing tricks on me, but it straight up smells like grapes. And more of a whiskey smell than just sweet brandy. Maybe they just, the way they blend, the way this was blended, EJ's a genius. May he rest in peace. This is a beast of a performer too, guys. I did 3 little like third spritzes like that, because a full spray does that. Man. That's about the totality of what I sprayed in 4 sprays on my skin. I try to be modest because it's a fire hose when you spray a full spray of this one. So be mindful of that when you get stuff from Happyland. These atomizers, they'll soak you down, I'm telling you. But this is a beautiful fragrance. Now, admittedly, you will smell kind of like a bar room. This is a polarizing scent. It's extremely alcoholic. You have to know going into it that that's going to be the case. You can get a sample and just try it first. You don't have to just blind buy a 30 ml or a 60 ml bottle. But if you want slightly unique, you like boozy fragrances, you're a fan of sweet, and you want something off the beaten path that is an absolute nuclear, unnecessarily powerful fragrance, you probably want to look into Happyland Studios El Goodo, because like I said before, it's very goodo. Well, that's the 8 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. Of these 8, what have you tried? What have you experienced on your skin? And what do you think about them? Do you get beastly performance on your skin? Are they weak on your skin? Are you going to say they're weak and I don't know what I'm talking about when your nose is just really wearing out? That stuff does happen, guys. Stuff does happen. But I'm interested to see you guys' feedback down in the comments section. If you're interested in checking any of these out, I'll try to have links down below for you. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 8 and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.